Welcome back to the POAS Desk. In the last episode, we covered the document checklist. In this episode, we cover something more technical but important, what it means for a POA to be notarized by a court-licensed entity, and why the source of your notarization matters as much as the document itself. When we describe POAS's notarization process, we say POAs are notarized through court-licensed entities. This phrase is specific. It refers to notaries who have been authorized by Dubai courts or the Ministry of Justice to register POAs and other legal documents. Not all notaries have this authorization, and not all locations, called notary, have the standing required for property and corporate POAS. There are several types of notarization in the UAE. Dubai courts notaries, the traditional route, notaries operating directly within the Dubai courts system. They notarize documents for use in court proceedings, property transactions, and most general legal purposes. Their notarizations are recognized by all UAE authorities. Licensed private notaries who have been licensed by the Ministry of Justice to perform notarization services. They operate in their own offices, typically with shorter waiting times than the courts. Their notarizations carry the same legal weight as court notarizations for the document types they are licensed to handle. Free zone notaries. Some free zones have their own notarization services. These are useful for documents related to free zone companies and free zone matters, but their authority is limited to the free zone's jurisdiction. A free zone notarization may not be accepted at the Dubai Land Department for property transactions. For example, embassy or consular notarization. Notarization done at a foreign embassy or consulate, usually for documents being used overseas. This is different from notarization for use in the UAE. Foreign notarization. Notarization done in another country for use in the UAE. Foreign notarization must go through the consular attestation chain we covered in episode 16. For UAE POAs, the relevant categories are Dubai courts and licensed private notaries. These are the routes recognized by the major receiving authorities: the Dubai Land Department, banks, courts, and government departments. Why the distinction matters. A POA notarized by an authority that is not recognized by the receiving body is not valid for that body's purposes. The form may look right. The Arabic and English may be perfectly drafted, but if the notary is not authorized to register POAs for the relevant authority, the document will be rejected. This catches people out. They go to a notary they find online, get a document signed and stamped, and assume it is valid. They then take it to the DLD or the bank and discover it is not accepted. They have to start over with a properly authorized notary. Specific scenarios we see. Some online providers offer notarization through unspecified channels at very low prices. The principal receives a stamped document and assumes it is properly notarized. When the document is presented at the DLD, it is rejected because the notarizing entity is not recognized. Some free zone companies use their free zone's notarization services for all documents, including property POAs. The free zone notarization is valid for free zone matters but is not always accepted at the DLD. The company has to re-notarize through Dubai courts or a licensed private notary. Some clients receive POAs notarized at branches of notarization services that have closed or had their licenses revoked. The original notarization may have been valid at the time, but if the entity is no longer authorized, the document's status becomes uncertain. The question to ask: where is the notarization being done, and is that entity authorized to register POAs for the receiving authority? You need, for a property sale POA, the receiving authority is the Dubai Land Department. The notarization must be from a Dubai court's notary, or a Ministry of Justice licensed private notary recognized by the DLD. For a bank account POA, the receiving authority is the bank. Most banks accept Dubai courts and licensed private notaries. Some banks have additional requirements about which notaries they will accept. Confirm with the bank in advance. For a corporate POA, the receiving authority depends on what the POA is being used for. Property matters go to the DLD. Government correspondence may go to specific authorities with their own requirements. Free zone companies may have additional internal requirements. A common mistake we see. Principals choose the notary based on price or convenience without checking whether the notary is authorized for their specific receiving authority. The savings on notarization are wiped out and worse when the document is rejected. At POAS, we use Dubai courts, notaries, and licensed private notaries that are recognized across all the major receiving authorities. We confirm the receiving authority's preferences before notarization. The notarization is part of the fixed fee, and we choose the entity based on what the document needs to do, not on convenience. In episode 27, we cover the role of translators in POA work, why translation is more than just language conversion, and what makes a translator legally qualified. I'm Patrick. Thanks for joining me at the POAS Desk.